Hello, we're a group of students from Christopher Columbus High School in Miami, Florida, and today we'd like to share with you our message to Congress that states, Congress needs to get our nations back to balanced budget. This can be done by reducing spending on certain military programs, which would reduce our national debt and save our country billions of dollars annually.
Today in our nation, our government is spending more money on its Department of Defense than in any other area. Although we are proponents of having a strong military, we believe that the country can save hundreds of billions of dollars a year simply by implementing a new strategy of restraint and reduced intervention when dealing with countries abroad who may be in need of assistance. We understand that as a world superpower, it is our responsibility to help those countries who may be in need, and we are proponents of that also. But our leaders need to understand and maybe take a more cautious approach when entering a country and simply take into account all the money that is being spent every time we enter a country using our military.
We do have an unbalanced budget and a fairly large deficit, and I feel like if we are able to cut spending, we'll be able to balance out that budget.
By only cutting production on the F-35 Lightning II, the government could provide every man, woman, and child in America with an $1,100 stimulus check. One way to cut military spending without hurting the military would be to simply cut some of the Pentagon's overhead charges. Doing this would save the government roughly $80 billion a year.
President Obama for taking on the issue of our budget deficit. But if we are truly serious about tackling this vitally important issue, the Pentagon's bloated budget must be on the table. According to the Congressional Budget Office projections, the Defense Department will spend more than $7.5 trillion over the next 10 years. Let me say that again. You all know that. $7.5 trillion over the next 10 years. This coming fiscal year alone, the Pentagon will spend more than $700 billion, almost as much as Congress spent on our nation's entire recovery package. We're going to turn this economy around, and we must, and if we are going to do this, so that we can invest in policies that will sustain the middle class and offer real opportunities to the next generation of Americans, we must get rid of the runaway defense spending that we have in this country.
Mentioned a couple of them, and so is Secretary Gates. Why do you need, an expeditionary fighting vehicle? When's the last time the Marines have had an amphibious landing? Okay, but Gates mentioned that. But again, one of the problems that you have, both the Secretary of Defense and even the President are talking about, hey, we can do these, but they don't do them. Okay, I mean, Secretary Gates gives these speeches, but he doesn't take them out of the budget. And after he mentioned that about the carriers, and he said, no, I don't want to cut carriers. Well, okay. Somebody's got to step up to the plate, and we have here. The V-22, look, you got a couple of hundred of them. We should have listened to Dick Cheney. This was one thing we should have listened to Cheney on. He called it a turkey back in 1990, but we got a couple of hundred. And remember, this was supposed to help the Marines do amphibious landings, and it hasn't been used for that, nor will it. You got the F-35. This year, you had Chairman Levin and Senator McCain pass, a new bill about, hey, will weapon systems go over the Nunn-McCurdy breach, okay, that says, let's kill them. The Pentagon just exempted 6 of them, the first ones that broke the Nunn-McCurdy agreement, including the F-35. And so, we're talking about, that the Navy says they don't want any. Okay, good. Don't have to take them. Go back, and as we point out in here, you have a lot of lower cost alternatives, the FA-18, E, and F.
Now, we would like to thank C-SPAN for the opportunity to voice our opinions to Congress and also for granting us access to their insightful video library.